I would love to implement programs that would allow the recreational services to be supplemented, so that it's much more affordable for the youth to go to Mac Island and other great recreational centers that we have. And I would do that by using the youth groups that are already there and the mentors that are already there to help implement these programs. And for instance, SOS, one youth group rents the courts quite often, and it's very expensive for them to do that. And it would be nice to become involved with what they're doing and allow more youth to join these groups and have more recreational activities to do up here in the north.
I'm going to continue to engage with young people after the election. I think the thoughts and participation of youth is going to be critical to all the decisions that we're making going forward, because youth are going to be impacted. The other thing that I think that is going to be of a central focus is the Mayor's Advisory Council on Youth, which is also known as McCoy. I'd like to see that program expanded so that we have an even greater opportunity to hear from young people as we go forward. Another issue that's very important to me and that I want to see addressed is suicide. I know it's an issue among many young people, and there's a lot of mental health issues that have happened in our region. So one of the concerns I have is to make sure that we are doing everything we can to make sure that young people feel safe in this community, and addressing suicide is chief among them. I know that we have a lot of great resources in this community, and I want to make sure that they receive the support they need, and I want to see that the response of the municipality and all the agencies in this region is even stronger, so that suicide is addressed and our young people feel safe.
The initiatives I would like to work on for youth age 14 to 24 in Wood Buffalo would start with just a continuation of the work being done by our Regional Action Committee on Inclusion, Diversity and Equality. I've been lucky enough to sit on that committee a couple of times, and over this past year we have been working on ideas about how to have youth involved more, and that specifically one idea that has been put forward by me is that on all council appointed committees and boards, we have a lot of them, at least on all committees, that we put in a rule that we should have at least one youth from that age group on the committee, because as I look at all our committees, there are a great many of them that do not have anybody under 25 years of age. So, we're looking at making a recommendation to council on that specific thing. And I see that as the starting point. The other initiative is really to expand the role of McCoy, the Mayor's Action Committee on Youth, which is strictly a youth committee, but I'd like to see that committee tweaked to be more of a policy committee, reporting to council, and talking to them about ideas of how to get youth to come to council meetings, about councillors and the mayor going on school visits and talking in classrooms about youth need to be engaged with the political process. Those are kind of my starting points for youth involvement.
That's a really interesting question, and I don't know that I have the answer to it. I talked to my own kids, my youngest being 17, and I asked the question, what works for you, son? He tells me that Instagram and all of these other social networking programs are the way to communicate with young people. So I'm not in that age bracket. I know that I have a 22-year-old son, who's a gamer, interacts with his friends via computer all the time. So my guess is that using the technology that's available and at hand is probably one of the most relative ways to get young people involved. I've always believed when you need an answer to a question, go to the source. So if I want to know how to get young people involved, I need to first ask young people. and not make an assumption on what they need or what they want. So I think that I would involve the communication staff and community services staff in making sure that they're reaching out and engaging young people to hear what they have to say and to also understand what's going to motivate them to get involved.